Hey howdy hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. If you've known me for any amount of time on this platform, then you would know that I am nothing short of Ubisoft's #1 hater. I thought at one point in my life, Ubisoft was one of the best companies in the video game industry. These guys brought some amazing titles to the forefront of gaming, and they brought games that we as a community constantly call back to when we think of dream games to be made nowadays. As you got Rainbow Six, Ghost Recon, Splinter Cell, you guys know. At one point, these guys were unstoppable, but now they are nothing more than a shell of their former selves, and it reflects in their most recent closed beta testing for xDefiant. I'm just gonna go over how my experience is with xDefiant and pretty much just gauge what I have on my mind right now. Of course, everything is my opinion, and I encourage you to discuss yours in the comment section below. Also, if you enjoy the video, consider hitting that sub button for more content like this. Okay? Let's get into it. April 13, 2023, xDefiant officially opened up their servers for their closed beta test, the last closed beta test, mind you, and it was nothing short of a goddamn 10-car pileup. Server issues on top of server issues, and it got to a point where Ubisoft took the servers down for a few hours just to work on them. And that seemed to do pretty much nothing because everyone kept getting the Echo 06 error, symbolizing a connection issue, after the servers came back up. Ubisoft has never been known for their server performance anyways, and Hyperscape is a brutal example of that. On top of that, I, along with many others, also had an issue where the game would just stutter and hitch at the beginning of every match, and I can chalk that up to some shader caching being done in the background, which is fine, but for new players, it was a bit of a surprise. I can also say that even though the game looks graphically polished, the gameplay feels outdated and stiffer than a politician on Viagra. And since we're on that topic, let's talk about the gameplay some more. Right now, during the closed beta test, there are only 5 game modes and a few operators with different abilities. And from there, you have an assortment of custom weapons and pre-built classes to choose from. As far as gun balancing is concerned, for a closed beta, the gun balancing is pretty much on point for me. I don't feel like I have to break my left mouse button just to get a kill. With that being said though, I felt like with some of the guns, I was essentially just shooting guns in VR. And if you've never done that before, you have to fight digital recoil without physical recoil. And that's exactly what I felt shooting guns like the AK and the MP5 in xDefiant. The gunplay and overall mechanics kind of feel like a faster paced Rainbow Six Siege in a sense, so if you're into that style of gameplay, then this might be up your alley. But for what they make up for in somewhat enjoyable gameplay, they absolutely fail at the movement. And the movement feels like I have 2 leg braces on at all times. It's just stiff as hell. A significant amount of people who have been either playing the closed playtest or even people trying this out for the first time say that this game, when it works properly, is some of the most fun they've had with FPS shooters in quite some time. Some even saying that it reminds them of older Call of Duties before the shit became sweatier than a fat people fitness day at YMCA. I personally do not feel that way at all. The game is fun, and for a free-to-play title, I'm not going to complain as much. But if this is the last playtest and the game is supposed to come out later this year, then I find xDefiant to be malnourished and kind of boring. And from what I've been told by the xDefiant truthers like Mr. Abel Green, shout out to the homie, go watch his video on xDefiant, this playtest is one of the best ones to date. Now, I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but from an outsider's perspective and genuinely giving this game a chance, I find it to be pretty fucking embarrassing on Ubisoft's part. As much as I don't like how this game feels, I really hope it gets better considering the state of COD's multiplayer. This game does have a leg up on MW2 though. There's no skill-based matchmaking. If we want to talk about maps here, xDefiant currently has 14 maps, and I consider all of them pretty mid when you combine them with the game's stiff mechanics. The maps are very small and CQB based, which works good for all of the game modes that the game currently has, and the flow of the maps are actually well structured. We could give thanks to Ubisoft reaching out to former CDL players for some insight about how to improve the game, because if you're gonna beat your competition, you have to think like your competition. The color and lighting on these maps are vibrant, bright, and well saturated. There's good lane positions to run some huge plays, so visually they look great, they feel great, but fuck me sideways. The gameplay physics lower it from an 8 out of a 10 to a 6 out of a 10 for me, personally. As far as content goes for xDefiant, their roadmap isn't very impressive and it's very vague, and this is what they released publicly. For seasonal content, you have a new faction, new maps, new weapons, a new battle pass, cosmetics and bundles, and some events. Again, super vague. New maps? How many maps? 2, 3, 10? Don't know. New weapons? Yeah, sure thing. How many? No idea. Events? Okay, what are the events? Nothing at all? Perfect. My personal opinions are this. Does xDefiant have potential in being an extremely solid shooter that rivals Call of Duty? Absolutely yes. Granted, everything I just said made it seem like I have no hope for this game. I actually really do. Do I genuinely feel as if Ubisoft can pull it off effectively? I hope so, but I'm gonna place my money on no as of right now. If you want a game that does what xDefiant does but arguably does it better, go to Steam and download Shatterline. Ubisoft has been on my personal shit list for many years because of their staggering reputation to fuck up great games, and I'm so glad that I'm no longer the only person that is recognizing that. Since they dropped Tom Clancy's name from this title, the game and its development along with its reception have been getting better from what I'm told. But if Ubisoft thinks that releasing this game with subpar servers and pretty standard but fun gameplay is gonna cut it simply because it's free, then it's time for Ubisoft to cut the lights off and close the doors completely. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you like what you see, then consider hitting that like button, that sub button, and Tom Clancy, that notification bell for more content like this. And as always, my name is Redbeard Mortis. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you guys in the next one. But until then, I am fucking out of here.